Arsenal 2, Palace 2, and that performance was absolutely disgraceful. Disgraceful. I'm going to say this now, right? The better team in that match wasn't Arsenal. The team that should have been walking out of that stadium with 3 points in hand was Palace. They could have had 5, 6 goals, and that would not have been unjust. They created by far the better chances. We had all the possession in the world, true, but we didn't do anything with it again. I feel like I'm just repeating myself now. Now, we get the ball, somehow gets up into the middle, backwards, sideways, 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 backwards again. Why can't these guys just go forward? Have they just forgotten how to do it? And you look at Palace, for example. What Palace did compared to us is that you look at us. As I'm saying, we get the ball, we do a run down, we stop over at the sides, pass back, pass sideways, pass sideways, pass sideways, pass to the other end, pass back into the middle, somehow end up with our goalkeeper having the ball. Palace, on the other hand, and they won the ball in the midfield. It took them 1, maybe 2 passes, and then they're pushing against us immediately. By far, they were the better team. And if I'm being honest, this Arsenal side, it's starting to feel like they're not caring about this right now. But they should be caring about this. They should care about this more than anyone else. This result now, we're only 6 points ahead of Man City. 6 points against Man City. If we keep dropping points like this, and let's face it, we probably are going to drop more points because we've got Liverpool away and Newcastle at home, we might not even end in top 4 anymore. If Newcastle win their game, which I think is against Ipswich, they're on 62 points. That's only 5 points behind us. We could very well drop out of top 4 entirely if we keep this up. And yes, PSG is important. But so is the Premier League. We need to end within the top 4. If we don't end within the top 4, it's a failed season entirely. It's worse than a failed season. But here's more things that I'm going to say. I don't think many players, really, today, I don't think many players impressed me at all. The only player that I can really sit here and say he was actually quite decent was Jakub Kiwior. The same person who I've been criticising all season. But you look at this now, and what concerns me about this is that team that we played was effectively our full team, minus Bukayo Saka. What I don't get at all is why the hell Raheem Sterling was playing. I'm going to say this objectively. Playing with Raheem Sterling is the equivalent of playing with 10 men. He's a waste of space. He should go back to Chelsea immediately. But realistically, we should have started with Ethan Nwaneri. Ethan Nwaneri should have been on the right-hand side. Now, we have to focus on PSG, but I'm really not looking forward to it. If we play anything like we have today against PSG, we're going to lose. The fact that we didn't lose today is a miracle. But I'm going to get into the player ratings, and they're not going to be positive. So I'm going to put it out. David Raya gets a 4. Why is he off his line like that? He did some decent saves, sure. But you cannot get caught off your line like that. He wasn't responsible for the first goal. The first goal that we conceded, I can't even lie, that was a brilliant goal. That's an absolute worldie. You don't really see a lot of those. So I can't blame him for that. But the second goal, letting them equalise like that, getting caught off your line, not good enough. 4. Saliba. What was he doing? What was he doing? Honestly, I've never seen Saliba do anything like that. Not like I've seen him lose the ball. I have never seen him actively pass the ball to arguably the best attacker on the pitch. Four. Jakub Kiwior. I thought he played decently, if I'm honest. Scored the first goal. Brilliant header. It's a Gabriel Maguiles header, that. I don't think he lost a single duel. He got plenty of challenges in. And in general, he was our man of the match. I'll give him a 7. Jurrien Timber, not really impressive today. Wasn't horrible, but I just think didn't really have much about him. Didn't see him do anything. 6. Lewis Skelly. I can't really call anything he did either, if I'm honest. 6. Midfield, and here's where we completely lost our heads. The fact of the matter is, we lost the midfield fight, and because we lost that midfield fight, we let them get back into it. Granted, the second goal was just this horrible mistake of ours, but keep in mind, we could have been a good 6-0 down, and it wouldn't have been unjust. Declan Rice, I don't think he had a horrible game. Held down the ball. He did cause a few problems, but other than that, not much. 6. Odegaard, very sloppy on the ball. Very sloppy on the ball. I can't really say anything more than that. And this is painful for me to say because I've been an avid Odegaard supporter for the past while, but I think today he just did not perform at all. Just like the rest of the team, he was very underwhelming. 5. I think I might even be generous on that one. Thomas Partey, again, another very poor performance. And I notice he does this a lot. He's very sloppy passing the ball sometimes. Sometimes he can have absolute corkers, but other times, like today, just losing the ball very sloppily. Not good enough. 4. Sterling, he gets an immediate 0. I have not been impressed with him at all. He was so bad that Jurrien Timber... Was I a bit too harsh on Timber, actually, now that I think about it? Come to think of it, actually, he did get the assist on the second goal. I'll give him a 7 then. Okay, no, never mind. Timber gets a 7. But Sterling was so bad on the ball that Timber didn't want to pass it to him. He wanted to just say, "I'll do it myself," and passed it over to Trossard instead. That's how bad he is. And look, I know I say that if you wear that Arsenal shirt, I want you to succeed. I do. I still want him to succeed. But I can be realistic here and just say Sterling is not good enough. Sterling, the way I see it, he holds the team back. That's how bad he is. 0. Martinelli, I'm going to give him a 6 just because from what I saw, even when he was calling for the ball, no one wanted to give it to him for some reason. I don't even know why. He was practically on his own for a fair bit in the first half. And yet no one wanted to pass to him. He could have been standing there to this very minute and have been calling for the ball and wouldn't have got it. I don't really think it's his fault though. Not a lot really happened down the left-hand side. So I'll give him a 6. Trossard. I can appreciate him getting a goal like that. But I think he gets caught on the ball too much. I don't want to be too harsh. He did get the goal that put us in the lead. But I'll say 7. Mikel Arteta. Very disappointed, if I'm honest. Just playing Sterling alone was a horrible decision. The moment I saw Sterling, I immediately thought, oh, for God's sake, here we go again. But look, it was a poor decision on its own, and I am fully convinced now that Arteta has something to do with this backwards, sideways philosophy. I can't understand it, and because of that, I'm not gonna give him anything more than a 6. Referee didn't really do anything wrong. Wasn't a major presence in the game. He dished out 2 bookings. Both were very similar to each other. Obviously, Rice and can't remember who the other one was. See if I can find it. Arsenal Palace. Yeah, the other one was Denveni. Denveni? Justin. But look, they were both very similar fouls to each other. Other than that, referee didn't really do much. I'll give him a 6. As for the fans, look, you can understand why they're so quiet. I was there. You can understand why we're so quiet. We're so disappointed. We're beyond disappointed. And the way I see it now is that silence was very justified. You're looking at the team effectively shooting itself in the foot. And so I get it. Fans, I'll give them an 8 just because I don't have any problems with them being that silent, especially after what they've just seen. But look, let me know what you think down below. Like, share, and comment. It really does help. Subscribe if you're new. It really does help out the channel. And I'll be seeing you in the preview for Arsenal versus PSG. Goodbye.